Welcome to Health Coach for Women, a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions to better health and wellness through intentional living. Now, here's your host, Marsha Roopchand-Walker.
Welcome back to another episode of Health Coach for Women. This is a podcast where we explore alternative and holistic solutions for better health and wellness. And I'm your host, Marsha. Now, today I want to talk to you about mastering your mindset. All right. Before I get started into that, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And as always, I always have a quote for you. Your peace is your power. Guard it fiercely by mastering your mindset, for no challenge or negativity can thrive where clarity and resilience resides. All right, and that is by me. All right, let's jump right in. So let's kick things off about starting about why your mindset is such a crucial factor in how you experience life. I want to talk about that. So your mindset basically shapes the lens through which you view the world. It also determines how you react to certain situations and how you treat yourself. Also, how you allow others to treat you. It's the difference between seeing challenges as roadblocks or opportunities for growth. Now think about it. Two people can face the same adversity, yet one can spiral into negativity while the other emerges much stronger. What's the key difference? Mindset. It's all about mindset. So I want to ask you, are you allowing circumstances and other people to control your inner peace? Or are you taking charge of your thoughts and your emotions? Today, we're going to flip that script so that you can stay in a positive mindset. All right. If you are experiencing and allowing people to and circumstances to destroy and infiltrate your inner peace. Now, I want to take a moment to identify sources of negativity and energy drainers in your life, right? Or energy vampires. You may have heard that term before. This can be toxic relationships or people who constantly criticize or belittle you, right? It can also be a stressful work environment where boundaries aren't respected, all right? It could also be other things, right? It could also be maybe like in my case, where we've been trying to close for almost a month now. This week could be a month. And so far we haven't been able to do so, right? So I can use myself an example. All right. But we are definitely keeping our spirits up and not dealing with anything that can try to ruin our day and ruin our happiness, right? So that's where my husband and I are right now. But self-doubt is another one, or negative self-talk that you replay in your mind. These are things that you have to be able to identify the energy drainers, right? Identify when you are operating at a low frequency or when someone else is operating at a low frequency, or you could say negativity, right? Many of you know it as simply negativity, right? So you have to recognize these triggers. That's the first step. And once you've identified them, you want to ask yourself, what power am I giving to these things or people? What power am I giving to them? And you basically have more control than you realize. So what would be an action step that we can do? Right? You can take out a journal or a piece of paper, right? I wish I could show you my own journal. But right now I'm not in a position to do that now. Like I said, you know where I'm at right now, right? I got stuff all over the place. Now, you can write down a source of negativity in your life and brainstorm 3 small steps you can take to reduce its impact, okay? Just take out a piece of paper or a journal. What are some things that's a source that may be a source of any negativity you may be experiencing, right? And write those down. Write them down right now, okay? If you are experiencing any of that. Now, once you've identified the sources, right? Let's talk about how you can build a mindset that will protect your peace, right? Some actionable strategies that you can do. You've heard me talk about these several times, right? Practicing gratitude, right? Practicing gratitude allows us to shift your focus from what's going wrong and what's not working well, right? It allows you to shift to a better mindset, right? Of what could be better in life. What things are you happy for in the present moment, right? You can start each morning by writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. And doing this simple habit, believe it or not, can rewire your brain to see positivity more clearly and easily, right? Number 2, set boundaries. So protecting your peace often means learning how to say no. I've talked about this before in the last episode or prior, right? That if something is consistently draining you, it's okay to step back. Remember that saying no to others is saying yes to yourself, right? Honor your yeses as well as your nos. And there's no shame in that. Number 3, challenge negative thoughts. Whenever a negative thought pops up, ask yourself, is this true? Often we are the harshest critics. You know that. We can be our worst critics. So replace those thoughts with affirmations like, I am capable, I deserve peace and happiness, right? Surround yourself with positivity. That would be number 4. Surround yourself with positivity. Remember, your environment matters, right? Spend time with people who uplift and inspire you. I say that all the time. Make sure that you're spending time with people who uplift and inspire you, right? And where you can do the same for others. Limit your exposure to negative media, social media content, right? Even in your workspace, right? You have to limit yourself. And maybe it's hard because you work around those people. So maybe it's hard to do that when you're around other people. But when people start with negativity and gossip, shift it to something positive, right? Bring up something positive to maybe you can help shift their mindset as well. You can create a space, right, that will really create positivity. And you can do this both in the physical as well as in a digital space, right? That's what you can do. Another thing, as always, I'm always talking about practicing mindfulness, right? And believe it or not, it works, okay? I wouldn't be saying it over and over if it doesn't work. Mindfulness helps you to stay grounded and keeps you in the present moment, right? Whether it's through meditation or deep breathing or simply focusing on the sensations around you, this practice helps you to let go of worries and stress, right? And this is how you can have a harmony and have a stress-free life and maintain your inner peace, maintaining peace. So how do we rise above those challenges when we experience those challenges that's beyond our control? Life will throw challenges in your way, and you know that that's inevitable. We know this already, right? How you respond is within your control. And so some of the things that you can do is reframe your challenges as opportunities. And so what do I mean by that? So instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this teaching me, right? And I'll use myself as an example. What is this whole process teaching me, right? Because I've never gone through this before where there's been so long of a delay, right? And I know that things happen, right? But I never experienced this where it's extended so far out to almost a month. I haven't experienced it, right? I've purchased 2 homes before and did not go through this, right? And even the other one that we did recently when we had to close on it, it was a process, but he even met the deadline. The guy at that mortgage company, he even met the deadline that was supposed to be our original closing date, which was the 17th of, December. Okay, so we were supposed to close on our house before Christmas, right? And we're still here in our own home. And luckily, again, it's family, right? So I'm using myself as a perfect example, right? So again, I can say, and I'll use myself as an example. So why is this happening to me, right? Why is this happening to us, right? What is it teaching me, right? Every difficulty has a lesson if you're willing to look for it, as well as with every difficulty, there is ease. So what is this teaching us? Patience, right? things that are beyond our control, we still have to weather the storm and go through life, right? Is it frustrating? Yes, it is. It is frustrating. But in the meantime, we're doing what we need to do. We're focusing on other things so that we're not focused on this whole delay process, right? So, and that leads me into number 2. Focus, right? Focus on the things on which you can control, right? Let go of what's outside of your control and channel your energy into the things that you can control and that you can influence, right? So by doing this, this shift reduces the feelings of helplessness and actually empowers you, right? So prior to this recording, we just spent some time because things is all packed up here. We came out of the master bedroom, the big room, into the smaller room, so that my stepdaughter can now be into the main room, right? The master bedroom. So things is tight. It's a lot, right? And so for me, I don't function and operate well in being crammed and clutter and all. I cannot function, right? So this is a big challenge for me. But guess what? I'm doing it. I'm doing it because why? I don't have a choice at this time. So when things get crazy and challenges, you can't crash and burn, right? All you can do is focus on what you can control and let go of what's outside of your control. And so we was able to do that. We actually stayed in a hotel for the weekend just to get away and get a break and relax, right? Relax in the jacuzzi hot tub. It was beautiful. So just relaxation to relieve the stress, relieve the tension. This is what we did, right? And so this leads me into the next thing is celebrating your small wins.
If you are struggling with health issues like chronic pain, being held back by past traumas, or feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, please know there is hope. There is help. Transcendence, a woman's guide to healing and self-love for better health, happiness, and abundance, is a blueprint to help you get your life back and reclaim your health. Within its pages, you'll learn how to elevate your existence by shifting your mindset toward the positive, focusing your energy on what's really important, using gratitude to feel deep appreciation, changing your gene expression through epigenetics, building resilience, and living in a state of flow, feeling love overflow within. Go beyond an ordinary life. Transcend. Buy it now.
Right? I always say that. Celebrate your small wins because big goals and challenges can feel overwhelming. And you have to break them down into smaller steps and celebrate each milestone because what? Progress is progress no matter what. No matter how small, it is still progress. Okay? So what are some small wins that you've experienced within the past week, right? Maybe last week, what are some small wins? Maybe you experienced some challenges, but what were some small things? What were some things that you did to cope, right? To flip that challenge into something positive, okay? For me, I told you, my husband and I, we went and stayed at a hotel, right? Just to get away, just to have, maybe get some clarity and relaxation, okay? And just to not focus on either work nor the house situation, just to simply relax. And that's what we did. And it was good. All right. So now another thing, celebrate your small wins, right? I talked about that. Celebrate your small wins and do not be afraid of sharing and celebrating those wins, right? Don't be afraid to share it with others, right? What are some other things we can do? What are some other things that we can do to have our mindset to keep that inner peace, right? Remember, I talk about self-care, right? Maybe you can go and pamper yourself and get a facial or get a full body massage, right? Practicing your self-care rituals. Don't get distracted from practicing self-care, right? Don't get distracted. Remember, self-care is a necessity. It's not a luxury. It's not nothing you should be ashamed of or afraid of or feel guilty about. I know young moms or people with small children, sometimes you feel guilty where you don't want to treat yourself. That was me. That was me. I didn't want to spend the money. And again, that was operating from a place of scarcity as well. But I felt that I didn't want to do things for myself because I'm like, oh, well, I could use this for the kids. I can do this for the kids instead of doing something. That's what I did. So don't be afraid of that. Don't feel guilty about doing something to pamper yourself and feel good, right? Because the better you are and the better you are towards yourself, the better you can be, towards others, right? Your family, the better you're able to function better. You're able to have more clarity, right? Exercising, doing some exercise, it actually helps to reduce stress. Okay. It actually helps you doing exercises, whatever that may be, walking, taking more 15, 20-minute exercises, whatever it is. These things help you to not only reduce toxins and relieve stress, but it gives you a better, more clarity, mental clarity, and to help you find that inner peace, to help you be in a peaceful, calm state of mind. So being able to master your mindset is key, right? You definitely want to make that a goal in 2024, to be able to master your mindset, all right? And if you have aches and pains and you suffer from whatever things that's your challenge could be, maybe it's achy bones, maybe it's stiffness, and you live in a cold weather, like in the area of seasons, like where maybe you experience cold weather, maybe you're stiff all the time, right? Let's move those joints. Let's do some exercises. Let's work those joints. Move. Remember, moving the joints helps to get that fluid going, gets the fluid going, right? So moving around, being mobile, right? Being able to stretch, right? Stretch the body out, do what you need to do. We want to eat right. We want to eat things some brain foods, right? Eat things that's going to help us with clarity, right? Eating our greens, our vegetables, our fruits, our vegetables. Cut back on those carbs, right? Cut back on maybe instead of white potatoes, maybe we'll have sweet potato. What gives you more energy? What gives you less energy? Is eating those bagels make you feel sluggish, right? Which impacts your ability to move around. When you feel bloated, you move less. Start paying attention. Tune into your body. Pay attention. The better we are at knowing and tapping into our intuition and mastering our mindset, the better we can be towards our own health and wellness, mind, body, and spirit, as well as emotional, right? We know that emotions plays a part in our well-being, right? So when we are in toxic relationships, or when we are frustrated, when we feel like someone else is in control and we feel powerless, things that can affect our emotions as well, yes? So we have to master our mindset, and we can do that by doing the things that I mentioned, right? Journaling, exercising, or doing affirmations. You may say, listen, you say the same thing every week. Yes, I say the same thing every week, maybe just in a different context, but I say the same thing every week because it is what it is, okay? So we cannot allow other people to steal our joy. We cannot not allow other people to hinder our own success, right? We don't want anyone else to hinder our own success. We are able to control what we can control, and the things that we can't control, we let it go, right? Let it go and let it flow. We're not dealing with any of that. Listen, 2025, we're going to make it a good year. We're going to make it a good year in our health. We're going to make it a good year in the way we manage our emotions. We're going to make it a good year in our mental health, right? By mastering our mindset, right? And doing things and doing the things that we need to improve our mental health and to improve our overall health and wellness, right? If we need to refrain from social media, then that's what we need to do. If we need to take time to just simply be in our own space to get some clarity, whatever that is, right? Because what works for me may not work for you. right? But I know what works for me. It's a nice massage, right? I love journaling at times when I do feel the need that I want to journal, right? Writing, your hobby, the things that you love and enjoy, right? This podcast, I enjoy it, right? It's what I enjoy. Now, are there times when I don't feel up to it? No, sometimes I don't always feel up to it, but I do it anyway, right? So you got to get to a place where you are working towards mastering your mindset, because when you master your mindset, your whole view, your whole perception, your whole outlook can change. Your whole outlook can change just by simply mastering your mindset. All right. And so I wanted to talk about that, and I apologize for those who are maybe watching on YouTube that I'm not showing my face, right? To be honest, it's just too much going on. There's no place for me to set up, and I'm just with stuff all over. I actually have a towel wrapped on my head. Okay. You might say, oh, TMI, too much information. Yeah. Okay. So, I can't wait till I can get back to viewing. There's a lot of things that I want to do. There's a lot I want to share, that I want to talk about, some things that I'm working on. For me, right now, this is preparation time. I'm preparing, right? I'm preparing for what I'm expecting to come later on, right? Which I don't want to disclose just yet. Okay, but I'm working on some things that I want to make some changes on. And that includes this podcast. Okay. But I'm going to share all that, and you're going to see the slight changes and things happening. You may have noticed some already, but I'm making changes. Okay. So I'm hoping that your goal for 2025 is what? Making sure if you are a believer, that you're making sure that you're putting the Creator first, right? Whatever your thing is for you, right? For me, it's the Creator first, making sure I stay prayed up, armored up, right? And I'm taking care of my health. I'm taking care of my mental health, mental, physical, right? Spiritual, emotional. I'm taking care of those things. All those things that falls under the umbrella of your self-care, your spiritual well-being, your mental well-being, your physical well-being, your emotional well-being, and even your financial well-being, right? Because we know finances, right? If you're not doing well in your finances, things can impact you in other ways, right? It can impact other things, other areas of your life. And if that's one of your issues that you want to work on, maybe changing your career, want to make more money, learn a new skill, right? Learn a new skill. There's so many things that you can do right now. Yes, stores are closing down, right? You heard of Macy's closing down. Other shops and stores may be closing down. People are getting laid off, right? So we have to do the things that we need to do to make ourselves more valuable, right? As far as job career. What new skill can you learn, right? Maybe you can go and get your PMP certification, right? Your project manager certification, right? Maybe you have experience in certain things, because that alone can boost your income up, right? So whatever that is for you, right? You should be preparing, starting. You should have been doing this prior to 2025, but that's okay. It's just getting started, doing what you need to do. Start making that preparation. Start taking the actionable steps to be able to be in a place of protecting your peace, right? In a peaceful state of mind, right? And that's by mastering your mindset. So how do you see your glass? Is it half full or is it half empty? It's all in your perception and how you see the world. All right. And that's all I have for you for now. But until next time, bye for now. Stay healthy, stay well, stay alert, right? Let's pay attention to our surroundings, be safe, and bye for now.
Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Health Coach for Women with Marsha Roopchand-Walker. If you've enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next episode.